people say your life flashes before your eyes, it really does.
When you add in the real threat of death, that takes it to another level that other sports don't go to.
It's like slow motion in my mind. Every time I think about it, I'm literally dying on the arena floor. When you're laying there watching the ceiling fan go round and round as your neck literally heals back to your body, I wanted to go insane. Was having the darkest moments of my life and just going down the rabbit hole fast. I think spirituality is just an individual thing that finds you or you find it. Even though I've faced some rocky times there after the wreck, it's something that I've always tried to hold on to, and it's made an incredible lasting impact on my life, that you learn to work hard and never give up and try. Growing up in Texas, we just do things a little different down here.
Bonner? Well, I've known Bonner since he was a little boy. And he was a man then.
Come and get it!
His dad would call me and say, we're gonna ride some bulls out here. And I was thinking, yeah, I'll go out there. They probably got some little bitty old soft junior bulls. And I come out here, these boys are getting on bulls. They weren't getting on calves. They were getting on bulls, 10 years old.
Bonner and his older brother, Brody, both started at the same time. And so we had this plan of how we would take them over. My brother-in-laws were roping steers at the time. We'd take them over and put them on some big steers, get them bucked off, and that would cure that wanting to ride bulls, right? Well, that didn't happen. It backfired, and they both rode those steers that really bucked very well. It kind of put wings on their feet to the point of, hey, we want to enter a competition.
Okay, let's go.
I was always so supportive in whatever all of my kids wanted to do. I wanted them to succeed at whatever it was their dream.
A talented, young athlete. He was proving himself kind of all the way up the ranks. And that's kind of how it goes with guys. Guys don't usually show up out of nowhere at the highest level and they're good.
Bonner Bolton puts his money where his mouth was. He thought he could ride this bull. He executes to perfection, and Doug right there seemed to be.
We started seeing him get better right away. That's something else that's kind of a mark of a guy that has the grit and has the talent, is they start adjusting to a higher level faster than other guys.
How about Bonner Bolton? Bonner Bolton looked good right there.
Look how crisp Every move that he makes is, look at how he knows exactly where he needs to be.
Bottom ball, 90.5.
Had the world underneath my feet at that time, and respect from the guys in the locker room. I knew I was as good as anybody in there. I felt like 2016 was really my year to actually go for a world championship. I knew I had what it took. I was riding the rankest bulls in the world at the time, and I felt like there was nothing that I couldn't ride. It really felt like any normal day or event that weekend to me. I didn't really have any odd instincts or gut feeling, you know, that there was anything off. If anything, I felt like truly it was like that event, my event coming up to win.
Bolton gets ready. He's hoping to sort of reach a new level in the evolution of his riding. We're all witnessing.
I remember my heart was just pounding through my chest. You know, push my hat down and climb down in there, nodding for the gate. And I remember just leaving with the bull, feeling like floating on air. You know, I was just so in time with him and executing for him, like I was just one with him, and as natural as I've ever felt. Immediately I knew I broke my neck. I felt the crunch and I heard the break inside my body.
I've seen so many fucking friends get hurt in this fucking sport. It's like, fuck. All sports have the pressures of winning and losing and championships. You can make a mistake in this sport that can cost you your life.
Sorry. I knew the minute he hit the ground that it wasn't okay.
We'll get you updated information as soon as we can. But Ty, I know I sound like a broken record every time we see an accident like this. It's just such a stark reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in this business.
I'm literally, my chest is caving in. I can't breathe, and I'm just praying too, and I'm got my eyes closed.
Tried to just pray that nervousness away, and I had a lot of faith in God that He was going to bring us through whatever.
They began to load me up in the ambulance and strap me to the board, and I'm scared, you know, and I know I'm dying, and I really might not even make it to the hospital, and that for a minute it could be the end, you know, and I really felt like my spirit was being pulled out of my body. I guess I called my dad, and my only real thoughts I could come up with, or clear thought, was to let him know that I love him, and if I never saw him again, you know, just to make sure to tell my whole family that I love him. Like, I couldn't feel anything below my neck at that point. Decided it would need to happen 2 days later. They would need to do surgery, and at that point I wasn't conscious or aware of much, you know, and didn't really even understand what they were going to have to do to me. I just knew I was in really bad shape. All I could think about is like my family, and that I'm supposed to still be here. I don't know what for, but there's something I'm still meant to hang on to, or 4 and it wasn't my time to go.
Well, you can't tell me that he just laid there in bed and said, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Every second of every day, he's sitting there, what am I going to do to be great? What am I going to do to put this together? What am I going to do to be on top of this again? Because I'm not a failure, I'm not a quitter, and I'm not going to give up until my last breath.
Slowly but surely started to begin to try to hold myself, to support my own body weight as much as I could. Just little incremental wins every day. And about 4 months into it, I received a phone call.
Champion bull rider, but ABC Monday, Bonner Bolton joins dancing. And that's no bull.
I didn't know what to think about it. I had really never watched the show that much up to that point. But I had remembered that Ty Murray was on the show.
Him and I were friends, and he called me and said, hey, they're looking at having me on Dancing with the Stars. And I said, well, it's a great opportunity. I think you should do it, no doubt. And I said, be prepared, because I wasn't. This is not an easy thing.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Nope, that way. 7 and 8. 1, 2.
It's 8 hours a day and 7 days a week for 3 months. I think I had about 3 days off altogether, and this was about 1 year exactly out from my wreck, so it was a real challenge for me. But definitely the thing I think that has helped me gain recovery overall, and push myself past my comfort zone.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
With my recovery as far as healing goes and being able to do some of the things I can do, I feel like I have a lot of that to owe to Dancing with the Stars. Since then I've been able and fortunate enough to go on and do some model work and do jobs like the Tom Ford campaign and American Eagle and Ralph Lauren. It's been really awesome just to get to meet so many cool people throughout the industry.
Here he is.
Lake Youre. I'm in a tiny little town. I'm like you. I'm like a
mainlander.
I'm a mainlander. I'm a fucking rancher, dude.
Yeah.
Through all that, it's always been my dream, even before I got hurt, to change the sport of bull riding. And I always thought that would be as a world champion. Come to find out, there's something more.
I feel like Bonner's idea for Rank Ride is something that can potentially help the sport and help the fans of the sport, because anytime you have more of a vested interest in the outcome of sport, that's when it becomes intriguing. That's when it becomes drama that you care about.